I want to talk about something very special, yet brutally honest. Do you believe that dating is fair? Let's be real for a moment. The dating market has never been fair for even a single second. Innate physical appearance, family wealth, social status, academic background, we call this value. In gaming terms, some people start the match with a 5,000 gold lead and core items already in their inventory, while others stand in the lane empty-handed, without even enough gold for a single potion. When people feel this overwhelming value gap, they fall into despair. They think, that person is challenger tier, and I'm just bronze. If I try to make a move, I'll just get rejected. This defeatist attitude leads to two tragedies, either giving up on dating entirely and remaining a forever solo, or blindly rushing in, which often leads to distorted obsessions like stalking. But everyone, think back, what is the most thrilling moment in League of Legends history? It's the comeback victory, where a team flips a desperate situation with a 10,000 gold deficit and destroys the enemy Nexus. The icon of that comeback is T1. Today, through the T1 vs KT match on January 23, I am going to deep dive into the circus-like dating macro that will help you break through that invisible wall and destroy the nexus of your ideal partner. First, let's look at the setup for the first 15 minutes of the game. The early stage of Game 2 was clearly a picture designed by KT, based on a composition strong in early game skirmishes. KT secured bottom lane priority, took the first dragon, and stayed one step ahead of T1 in jungle pathing. They constantly shut down T1's macro. At the time, the commentators said, KT holds all the lane priority, so there's nothing T1 can do. Let's apply this to dating. That high-value, ideal person you like is already surrounded by capable competitors. Just like taking dragons, those competitors offer expensive gifts, flaunt their fancy cars, and use their silver tongues to seduce your ideal partner. Do you know the biggest mistake solos make here? They think, I have to show them something too, and force a fight. They launch a confession attack without being prepared, or suddenly book an expensive omakase restaurant, attempting an unreasonable damage trade. The result is obvious, you get solo killed. You become labeled as a burdensome person and are completely deleted from that person's mind. The core of the macro T1 showed here is survival. It's the give what you must, GLG, spirit. If your ideal partner is having dinner or going on a date with someone else who seems better than you, just let them be for now. That is their current priority. What you need to do is stay under the tower and farm CS. This means not giving up on your studies, your career, and your health. If you collapse now, the foothold for a future comeback disappears. Enduring in dating means having the patience to protect your own place without losing your self-esteem. Now, let's talk about the comeback item build that many of you are curious about. The reason T1 was able to endure and eventually win was that they steadily built their core items during those difficult times. To overcome the value gap in dating, you need your own core item build. The first core item is the boots called Visual Neatness. Just as you can't do anything in League if your movement speed is too slow without boots, minimum external grooming is a must in dating. I'm not saying you need plastic surgery. A clean hairstyle, clothing that fits your body type, clean skin, this is basic etiquette toward the other person and the most fundamental way to show, I am someone who knows how to take care of myself. You need these boots to finally earn the right to enter the other person's attack range. The second core item is a control word called listening and empathy. The ability to listen to the other person without interrupting and read the emotions behind their words is the most expensive, legendary item in the dating market. Most men throw the game by trying to offer solutions. Instead, you must become a control ward that lights up the dark corners of the other person's heart. A sincere sentence like, I see, that must have been really hard for you, provides the vision that breaks down the other person's guard. The third core item is an attack damage item called Professionalism and Passion. The way you immerse yourself in your main job or hobby shines like a sheen. The energy radiating from someone who loves their work gives the other person a reversal charm, making them think, this person seemed low value at first, but they are actually very solid. You need this combat power to deal damage during team fights. Between 15 and 25 minutes, the gold gap widens to over 5,000. KT thinks they've secured the win as they tear down towers one by one. The casters say, if KT just solidifies this, they win. But something is strange. The T1 players don't look rushed at all. Even though they are losing, they aren't shaking. Why? Because they know. They know that the more aggressively the opponent plays, and the more they fall into conceit, a gap will inevitably open up. Dating is the same. When the other person is doing so well that you feel like you're not even on their radar, you feel miserable. But this is the most important time. What does T1 do in this phase? They focus on vision work. They avoid side lane fights until the very end while maintaining the vision battle. They just check the timing of when the opponent's skills are on cooldown. True vision work is not obsession. Stalking the other person's Instagram and feeling miserable is just a self-destruct move. True vision work is maintaining a burden-free connection. Collect information about what the other person has been interested in lately or what's been bothering them. Then, once a month, toss out a very light greeting or some useful information they might like. Hey, you said you wanted to see this exhibition, right? I saw the tickets went on sale today and thought of you. No need to reply. This is a deep ward. The other person might not date you right now, but they store the data in their head. This person is very considerate of me. The reason T1 was confident even while losing was that they were ready to catch the opponent's mistake thanks to the wards they placed in hidden spots. Finally, after 25 minutes, the color of the game completely changes. KT, trusting their lead, attempts a slightly hasty entry. The conceit that we can just push through with this lead creates a mistake. In that split second when the damage dealer's positioning becomes awkward, T1 does not hesitate. They seize that single opportunity, focus all their skills, and bite the target. Boom! The 10,000 gold gap evaporates in an instant, and initiative is recovered for the first time. Everyone, this comeback team fight moment will surely come in dating as well. Does an ideal person's life always go smoothly? Absolutely not. There comes a time when a project at work fails, they get stabbed in the back by someone they trusted, or they just have a desperately lonely night. This is the opponent's positioning error. T1 style comeback dating shines at this very moment. If you have placed your wards, interest, well, you can capture that timing. That's when you pour in all the sincerity and the core items you've built up. Others were only around when you were strong, but I was here even when you were shaking. This one sentence is like Faker's shockwave. One thing to watch out for here. The characteristic of a T1 teamfight is cleanliness. Don't be clingy. Show the best comfort you can give without over-pursuing, then return to your place. That disciplined composure will make the other person reevaluate your value entirely, thinking, wait, who is this person? Did I misjudge them? And then comes the climax of the game, the Elder Dragon team fight. KT thinks, if we don't fight here, it's over, while T1 is certain, if we win here, we flip it. In the team fight, T1's tanks buy time in the front, while the damage dealers maintain their positions until the end, precisely cleaning up the incoming opponents. The commentary explodes, this T1 teamfight formation is so clean. The damage angles are perfect. Dating is the same. In the moment of confession, present all the charms you have in an orderly fashion. It's not about crying and pleading emotionally, you need a perfect damage calculation that calmly delivers your prepared value. In the end, they took the Elder Dragon. The tide has turned. T1's closing after the Elder was literally textbook. They never attempt a reckless dive. They take Baron, push the minion lanes, calculate the opponent's respawn timers, and slowly pressure the Nexus. Just because you've started dating doesn't mean it's over. The Nexus is marriage or permanent trust. If you've started dating, you must now engage in the macro of stability. Just as T1 gathers minions, build up trust mileage by sharing small daily lives and maintaining steady contact. Making the other person feel certain that, I can share my future with this person, that is the final minion wave heading toward the Nexus. Through today's T1 vs KT match, we learned a great truth. You don't lose just because you're behind in the beginning. There is no reason to give up just because there is a value gap. KT's early game design was perfect, but their closing judgment was lacking. T1 showed a macro that didn't shake even when they were down in gold, and concentrated focus in the decisive team fight. Does the other person feel too high above you? Remember, you are currently building up for a comeback victory. A circus-like love that transcends the value gap between you and the other person is never impossible. I will be your coach and stay